Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to M Plus Online Corporate Briefing Night. So today we have us with here, DPI Holdings Berhad, and I will be the host tonight. My name is Louis Lau. I'm the head of research for M Plus Online. And so I think tonight we will have Peter Chai and also Adam Chai with us to talk about DPI Holdings Berhad. I'm pretty sure that everyone has been, if you are retailers in market or investors in market, you will definitely know DPI Holdings. They are one of the aerosol spray painters in the market. And I think tonight, let us bring them, pull them up, and then let us invite them to talk about their company and also their prospects going forward. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Louis.
Hi, Adam.
Thank you for having us tonight.
Yes, it's a very interesting night today because we always do this corporate briefing, and certainly tonight we are featuring DPI Holdings, and hopefully that you can clear some air for them, and hopefully that they will get a lot of information from you all. Yep. So I guess let us just start with today is a casual dialogue session. I think it's good to have this kind of session to engage with retailers, and this is what we always do. We want to bring good companies to the retailers. So maybe Adam, maybe I can bring I can ask you about some questions on the DPI Holdings. Maybe you can briefly talk about how DPI Holdings started, and maybe you can briefly tell us what you do, and hopefully they can get a better picture about DPI Holdings.
Sure, Louis. Thank you for having us here tonight. Very happy to be able to share our company's history with everyone. So to explain what we do, maybe I'll just share my presentation slides to give a bit of information about what we do. Okay. Wait, hang on, sorry. Let me just share screen. Then,
yeah, no worries.
Okay. Okay, can you see my presentation slide?
Yes.
Okay, can see, huh? Okay.
Can.
So our company is an aerosol company. We were first, actually, the company was set up in 1975. But when we started out in 1975, we were actually a paint and coatings factory because we are based in Muar. And in Muar, there are a lot of furniture factories. So when we started out, we were actually a paint and coatings factory. But from there, we actually progressed on to do other things. And we started doing aerosols as of 1982. So ever since 1982, we've been developing, packaging different types of aerosol spray paint colors. And to date, we have more than 300. From actually 20 colors now, we have more than 300 colors. And a lot of it is basically really listening to what users want. A lot of the bikers and also some of the DIY people, they say that they want some very special colors. And basically, we just started formulating a lot of different types of spray paint for the users in the market. So our business-wise, we have two types of things that we do. One is OBM, which is our own brand manufacturing. I always say a lot of people may not have used spray paint before, but if you go to a hardware shop, I'm quite sure you've seen this brand before, right? Anchor, correct? You've seen it before. You may not use it, but you know what it is, and you know that this has been around for a long time. So this, in terms of brand equity, this is really what in Chinese they call 老字号. It's been around for a long time. So this is our own in-house brand. And other than Anchor, we got DPI 614, we got Komoto, the other two brands that's focused more on the motorcycle market and in different regions of Malaysia. So own brand manufacturing, that's one part. And the other part is the OEM that we do private label manufacturing for international players. So these are international brand owners in Japan, Australia, New Zealand. And basically what they do not have is a manufacturing base, and they use us as a manufacturing base to make manufacture for them, and they supply to their distribution points. So this is what we do. Our manufacturing facility in Johor can make up to 10 million cans. And you look at, in terms of what we sell in Malaysia, we sell to automotive repair shops, motor shops, DIY shops, art and craft shops, and other retail outlets. So these are some of the products that basically our users share with us, and we just share with you all to see. And in terms of spray paint, we're a bit different. We don't just do like a specialized spray paint for one purpose, like say for for motorbikes or anything. We do it for bikes, we do it for auto, we do it for general like signboards, DIY, we do it for marking, we do it for we have high heat, and we have a large array of different types of spray paint because we have a good experience base in this area. And of course, through the years, we have got a lot of awards, reached a lot of milestones, and that's why in 2019 we decided to go listing. And if you look at our OEM base, this is something that is very critical for us also, because when we start to do OEM, we start to comply to a lot of international standards. And in terms of the QA and the quality of considerations that is important to all these international brand owners, we have to comply to them too. So we have eight of these customers locally and internationally from Australia, Indonesia, Japan, New Zealand, and Singapore. Like, for example, if let's say we're going to make paint for Australia and New Zealand, they require some paints to be aromatic free, which is toluene and xylene free. And there are certain chemical requirements when you want to sell to overseas countries. So all in all, when we start to do this, we also improve ourselves as an international aerosol product maker. And in terms of our corporate structure, we have DPI and we have DPI Chemicals. So DPI is our Muar manufacturing plant, and DPI Chemicals is actually our distributor in KL, based in KL, that sells solvents, thinners, along with our own aerosol. And these two are dormant, okay? But under that, we have a DPI Alliance, which is a Singapore branch that is oversees our investment holding and also oversees some of our OEM customers that's based in Singapore. In terms of brand owners, regional brand owners, a lot of them are actually based in Singapore. For those top brands, they will have their headquarters either in Singapore or in KL. So that serves as a good regional office to service those customers there. And of course, we also have DPI Japan.
Adam, can you enlarge your the slides, put it into full screen mode? Is it possible? Yes, okay. Yes, it's better. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so now you can see better, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so what are the other things that we do? We do solvents and thinners as well, because we do so much of the aerosol spray paint. We do have purchase quite a large amount of solvents. So from that, we blend our own types of thinner and we sell it along with our aerosol spray paint. So these are all created manufactured in-house by DPIC, which is our Kuala Lumpur distribution point. And it's sold for industrial applications. We have general purpose thinner, we got paint thinner, lacquer thinner. So other than aerosol products, spray paints, and also we have all this thinner. And of course, during this time where we got listed, we started making a lot of other new products as well. We've got BacTX, which is actually like a sanitization product. And because this period of time, actually from last year until this year, because everybody is concerned with sanitization, so we started to launch all this as well. And also have a new product line, which is abrasive latex paper. So all these are complementary products that we do along with our aerosol products, and we distribute them through our 700 over customers in Malaysia, which is the direct distributors, along with our aerosol products. Okay, so this is basically what we do in Malaysia and also internationally.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Adam. So I just want to ask, since we are on this page, I mean on the OEM and OBM, right? You have 8 customers across, from Malaysia until internationally, but I don't see China there. Is there a reason that you are not, giving this OEM business? I mean, China has not given you any OEM business. Is there a reason there?
Most of the international brand owners would be. Most of them are largely based out in Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, and maybe some UK, France, German brands. Most of them don't have a regional office, and they don't have like a regional manufacturing point in the area. That's why they come to us. In China-wise, most of them, if let's say they are a Chinese brand, most of them would have their own manufacturing facility in China itself, and most of the time they will not. They seldom venture out of China in that aspect. So that's the main reason why.
Okay. So what about the mix? Is it OBM bigger, larger, or is it OEM larger? How does it impact in terms of your earnings?
In terms of my earnings?
Yeah. So
usually most of our business activities is mostly focused on the OBM. 80% of
Okay.
business actually comes from OBM. Actually, the other 20% of our business comes from OEM.
Okay, got it. Yeah, great. So maybe we can move on to next question on what is the core strength of DPI? What makes you so different from the other players? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good question. Thank you, Louis. I think a lot of people, like, based on what the question you're asking just now, is also, okay, actually, why do people not make in China then? Or rather, maybe what's the difference between DPI and how are we compared? How do we fare in terms of our competitive strengths to other countries and other manufacturing facilities? And honestly speaking, it's really our team of chemists, our people. So we've got a good experience in paints. We've got good experience in aerosol built up through the years. And the thing is that for our company, MOA, we have been in business ever since 1975 until now. So that's like 40 over years. But if you count just aerosol alone, we've been doing that for the past ever since 1985. That's like 38 years. So it's a really long period of time. And our people, 140 of them, half of them have been with us for about 30 years average. So we got a wealth of experience, and 100% of all of them are based out in MOA. So we not only know aerosol very well, we know paint and coatings very well. So this gives us a competitive edge in terms of that. And also in terms of our business really build up. We talk about Potter's 5 forces. I know we look at our stakeholders and things like that. A lot of it is very theory. But to be honest, when my boss first founded the company, he didn't study Potter's 5 forces. But basically, he understood how to make a good and strong business and have a very strong business foundation, put it that way. So we have a track record of more than 30 years. We have a wide distribution network. And if you look at our prospectus when it first came out, our top 5 customers, none of them occupy more than 10% of our revenue, which means we are not dependent on one source for our major revenue. So that gives us a very good bargaining position. I don't know what's the term that they use, but basically it gives us a very stable foundation, put it that way. And we have a competency to formulate and develop different types of range of products. I won't say that we know how to make everything, but we've got quite a good base, and we're still learning to make even more and difficult to make niche products. We may not be able to make the large volume mass market products as cheaply or as maybe in China, but we know how to make some of those like nitty-gritty, like fine products. We are more like a boutique aerosol filler, you put it that way. We make very good products in that sense. So our quality and our stubborn obstinance towards maintaining that quality is what sets us apart from a lot of other brand owners. And I think that is one part that's why DPI has grown strong from year to year. And even it's always very strange. It's only in years of crisis that DPI actually kind of grows. If you can look through the years, when years where years of crisis, actually DPI grown during those years because we have a very
You mean
good
during the Asian financial crisis as well?
Yeah, Asian financial crisis, or even even the last year we did quite well if you look at our reports. And prior to that, even all those years, Lehman Brothers and all those years, we did fairly well. We usually weather quite well through the times of crisis. And so other than our people, our goods distribution network, other than that, I think the other part of it is actually the way we function. We are actually a very frugal company. I can really say that. I've said that before. We are a very frugal company. We don't spend on unnecessary things. We keep what we have, we keep what we earn, and when times are not so good, then we look for a way to grow. So that is basically, it's not rocket science, but it's just a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work, and it takes really years of prudence and to practice that. So that's how the company has grown strong from year to year. And of course, we've got very good working relationship with our customers and suppliers, and we really thank them during times of crisis. When times of crisis, when times are bad, it's like, hey, we need more goods, we need more stock. Can you do something for us? They'll help us out. We'll reserve these things. These things are for you. We help you out, and that is done by really maintaining that relationship in a very amicable and friendly way, like how you would to a person to person. Based on trust, and this company is really based on trust. That's why when you look at our slogan, trusted aerosol ever since 1982. So that's, to us, nothing is more important than that, and maintain that level of trust and integrity. So that's what sets us apart from everybody else. Yeah.
So I guess yeah. So I guess the main criteria here is the talents that you have been maintained so much. So I believe that your head of R&D has been with you since day one. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had, well, but we actually got the technical manager or the factory manager actually retired about 5 years ago, but we still have
Right.
a level of people. It's not just about the chemist who's formulating, but it's also like the technicians who's controlling all the processes at the part where they are mixing the paint, or when they are manufacturing the aerosols, to check whether all the aerosols, the QC is intact or not. It's all that level, a team of people.
Mm, mm. Okay,
Yeah.
so the QA part must be very, very strong in order for you to sustain such a long business for over past 30 over years, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So another question, since that you're talking about the customers and also your suppliers, I would want to touch about suppliers, because during this pandemic period, I believe that everything has been rising crazily from shipping until raw material. How did you manage all these raw material costs and also shipping costs? Do you pass on to your end users?
Yeah, if we do not, we try to maintain the price as much as we can.
Mm.
But if it reaches a level that we can't, then we have to pass on to our customers, and our customers will need to pass on to the end consumers, and that is just necessary if we want to maintain the quality of the products that we sell to the market. Like Anchor is really a very well-known brand. It has not failed the customers in any way. It has always functioned well as how it's expected to be, and we do not look to lower that in times of just because the prices increase. But if the prices need to increase, we will need to increase it, and we'll make sure that at the end of the day, the consumer gets what he's paying for. That's the point of it all.
Mm-hmm. Understood. So, I mean, since that right now the everything is on the high side, but what if the tide change when the raw material cost is coming down? Would you also reduce the price ASP?
I think if you look at things traditionally, I think the price only goes up; it never really comes down.
Yeah.
And you look at the times where at the rate that all the major economies are printing money, I think we are heading for a time where it's just going to be, everything is just going to become more and more expensive. I think as much as we
Okay.
can, we try to keep things steady and mitigate. But when we look at the trajectory of, it's not just my business. I think it's everyone's business is the same. You look at the vegetables or whatever. I think some people were sending some of those information around, right?
Yes,
Vegetables
yes,
will get
yes.
more and more expensive or whatever. So everything is kind of like going up. I don't think they'll go down actually going forward.
Yeah. Just now you mentioned a very, very interesting point. Over the past years, you have gone through like maybe 2 to 3 crises, and I mean, during that crisis, I think you have said that your earnings has been actually going up. Maybe can you pinpoint to any of the reasons that why during this kind of crisis you are still able to maintain that good earnings? Is there any characteristic that we can spot during this kind of crisis here?
I think it's just the position of the company, especially in terms of the cash position. I mean, if you are if times are good, you spend all your money to buy a bungalow, buy a car, all those things. And when times suddenly hit you and it's bad, then suddenly if you want to expand or do something, you can't because you're tight for cash. But that has never happened to us. I mean, we always had a very good, we had zero liabilities. So
Yes.
when times are bad, you can actually, look into how you want to grow more, spend a bit more on maybe some forms of marketing, or you want to do more to buy more raw materials to make more goods. You can actually look for a pretty good deal sometimes, when times are bad. I wouldn't say that we've grown a lot every crisis, but we've definitely done well during times of crisis, because some companies, it's always a time of consolidation also. Like sometimes when times are bad, some companies they can't sustain anymore, and their business comes to you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good
so that's
point.
how
Good
it
point here.
goes.
Okay, maybe we let you take a break, and right now we'll go into the financial side. Maybe you can ask Yap Singh to uh, share with us on the financial highlights. Yeah, Yap Singh.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Yap Singh.
Hi. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good
Prior
evening.
to that, please allow me to share the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I need to share this screen. Okay, can I confirmation? Are you able to see this screen about the annual financial performance of the company?
Yes, yes,
Risk.
I can see. Yeah, I can
Okay,
see. Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Tanyap Singh. I'm the investor relation consultant appointed by the company. Today, very happy that we have this very good collaboration with NPRAS. When you name the work of NPRAS, please allow me to run an advertisement. The PRAS itself already mean very good. What more? Today we add in DPI. DPI stand for Dynamic, Progressive, Innovative. So we both this together. We are here to present to you a very interesting show. First of all, today investors are increasing impatient. They want a quick answer. If we take a look of this company financial performance year on year, its financial year end is 31st May of 2020. Last year was quite tough because the first time MCO 1.0. Therefore, the turnover about 41 million, the profit about 6 million. Despite went through quite a tough time, you're talking about June of 2020 until May of this year. First, the turnover increased from 41 million to 62 million, up like 50%. More importantly, the profit increased from 6 million to about 12 million. 100% growth of stock profit. That explains why the share price from about 25 cent, where is IPO price of the company, moved up all the way to about 60 cent before adjusted for the bonus issue. What exactly happened in this period is like first is like the company have a very good cash reserve, can buy a lot of raw material when during the tough time a lot of people cash strapped, disruption. With the more abundant material with the company, they can produce more. Number one. Number two, early of this year, we are talking about early January or February of 2021, the company increased the selling price. By increasing the selling price, immediately it means that it will increase the profit for the company. So this part of the business is doing very well. But when it comes to the first quarter, people start asking this question already. Okay, last year is this. Then for the 2021 financial year, on average, you make about 3 million profit. Therefore, whole year you're able to grow the profit from about 6 million, 12 million. But what happened? What happened with the latest quarter? First, the revenue dropped to 6.7 million. The second, all these good profit margins suddenly dropped. It almost run a break-even account of like 200,000 of net profit. You're supposed to have 2 to 3 million. What exactly happened? So this had to come back to the FMCO. I mean, every one of us, we know that FMCO started by 1st of June, dragged until almost a middle of August. That is for those of us who live in Klang Valley, we still can go for shopping. But more importantly, is for the factory in the mall, the manufacturing plant is almost like not allowed and stopped for working from 29 June of 2021 until 27 of August of 2021. That quarter of June, July, August is supposed to be about 90 days, but the company only allowed to work for 21 days out of about 90 whole day at the reduced workforce. It means that during this FMCO, the government say don't put in 100% manpower, only 60% of staff capacity. So with this, whatever we could do in terms of warehouse, inventory, we sell everything. And as you know, when the revenue drop, naturally, the profit have been dropped accordingly. So this is the first part of the sharing. Now let me go through the second part. The second part of sharing, I need to go through the slide. With the quick answer when we share with everyone, now let me go through the more detailed answer. Okay, please give me a minute. Sharing of the slide. Okay. Luis, I need a confirmation. Are you able to see the full screen now? Luis, I need a confirmation. Are you able to see the full screen now before I proceed
Yeah.
further?
Okay. Can I can see it?
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for confirmation.
Yep.
Okay, that is what I exactly explained to everyone just now. Somebody may need to mute the mic. There's a wind blow from behind. Added. the spring blow from behind. Okay, first part is year on year, this company running a business very good profit margin, about gross profit margin of 30%. Net profit margin, we are talking about a good about close to 20%. Save for the 2020 disrupted by the MCO, now recover back about 20%. You are talking about year on year performance, May to May of every year. Okay, this is slightly adjustment. I will not go through this number. You could have get the presentation slide from this Empress. We'll send the slide to them. You can extract from them or maybe download from their Facebook if they upload on their Facebook. Secondly is regarding the business model. Original brand manufacturing or original equipment manufacturing, OEM. First, the company sell for its own product. The second is company also produce for other brand product. If in terms of the breakdown, aerosol product most of the time contribute for the past 4 financial year about 80 to 85%. The balance about 15 to 20% is from this solvent and thinner. I mean, for those people who are in the spray paint or those people who are in the painting, you know very well that the paint, sometimes you need solvent and thinner to dilute it before you can do a spray. That's one. In terms of geographical, about 80% of the business or revenue derived from Malaysia, about 20% is from overseas. Save for last financial year, we know very well that not only Malaysia country locked down, almost whole world, everywhere also locked down due to this pandemic and the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Therefore, in last year, you can say about 15% is from export, 85% is from Malaysia. This is a quarterly to quarterly performance, so I will not go through in detail. I already explained that the main reason why the revenue dropped and the main reason of why the profit dropped is because it's only allowed to work for 21 days out of the 3-month period where the reduced capacity of 60% staff capacity. Therefore, when the revenue drop, but certain fixed costs you still need to incur, like expenses, admin, everything, that reduced to about 200,000 profit. Moving forward, start by September, October, November. Subsequently, when you pose a question to the management team, they will share with you how much and how fast are they able to catch out the loss of the time. All this pen-out order, all this outstanding order, all this accumulate order, how fast can they deliver in order to meet the demand due to non-production in the past 3 months? Okay. The financial position-wise is this company is overly healthy in the sense that the current asset is too big, much larger than the current liability. Therefore, normally the current ratio is 1 time, whereas in this case 22. The main reason they have this is because too much cash reserve in their balance sheet. The debt is negligible, is too small, insignificant. The company in the net cash position, you are talking about net cash about 54 million. If you compare with the equity, actually it's a net cash company. This is the main reason why the current ratio is so high, because out of 73 million, almost 55 million is a cash reserve. The main reason of cash reserve, you can pose a question to management. How do they utilize it for any M&A? How do they utilize it to expand the market share moving forward? In the tough time, have money, better have no money. Operating cash flow wise, every year also is operating cash flow positive. So seeing this is a very good and healthy number, I will not go through in detail. Okay. Utilization of process, since the company listed on the early of 2019, the total money raised about 31.6 million. The utilization is only 7.8, only utilized about 25%. The 75% of the money or IPO process about 23.78 million yet to utilize. The main reason is because the factory to build under the capital expenditure expansion in Muar, Johor, it has been slightly slowed down a bit because of this MCO start by March of 2020, drag all the way down almost like November or 2021. The progress a bit slightly slow, but yet is slow and steady moving. That is the main reason when this part of the money have not spent, and out that the bulk of the cash out of 54 million, 31.6 million is for IPO money. Okay. After the company made a very good profit for the past 3 financial years, since the company was listed on stock exchange without fail, every year the company pay dividend. The first year of 2019, 6.4 million profit, pay out the dividend about 1.9 million, the payout ratio about 30%. The second year, 6 million profit, also 1.9, payout ratio about 32. Last year, 2021 was the bumper year because the profit jumped almost like 100% to 12 million. Therefore, the company also tried to reward the shareholder with much higher payout ratio, close to 45%, which is 5.231 million. If you take an average for the past 3 years, the company pay out about 9.12 million out of 24.3 million. The payout ratio is about 37-38%. Probably you can take the range about 30 to 35% is average. This is a payout ratio paid by the company, despite the company does not adopt any dividend payout policy at this moment. In terms of breakdown, you can see that the first year, they only pay dividend 1 times per year for 0.4 cent. The second year, tough time, they try to pay more dividend, 0.25, 0.15, 2 times per year, split into 2. And 2021, they pay a total of 4 interim dividend and 1 special dividend. So from 0.4 cent, it increased to about 1 cent. The increase rate is about 150%. This is a payment record. On top of this dividend payment, the company also reward the shareholder with a bonus issue of 1 for 2. Around June of 2021, the company announced bonus issue. At that time, the share price about 40-50 cents. The bonus issue 1 for 2 was completed on 11 August 2021. The share price of 60 cents, after adjusted for bonus issue of 1 for 2, it adjusted lower to 40 cents. This is the 40 cents what you are seeing today. Based on the 40 cents, the number of the share, initially about 486 million, plus the bonus share of 243 million credited into all the shareholder account. Today, the total share, ordinary share in circulation in the market is about 730 million, multiple by today closing price about 41.5 cents. The market capitalization of this company about ringgit 300 million. It's not too big yet. It's not neither too small. So just nice. Always have the room to go further. This company, since the IPO listing day, is a main market comprised company, despite it's listed on the H market. The main reason because the past 3 year profit prior to listing already more than 20 million, when you can go through the table, with the latest profit of more than 6. Therefore, on the IPO listing day back in early January 2019, the company is obliged to issue 12.5% of the share to the booming investor. So inside the balloting of 2.5, placement about 10% or in 12.5. In simple word, if you based on quantitative criteria, the company have complied in the profitability test as a main market listed company. But the company opt or choose to lose on Ace market as a good learning ground. Probably later on, you may want to ask the rationale why the management team decided to list the company on the on the Ace market. Okay, let me go to this to off the share screen first. Okay, I think with this I end most of the financial question that have been covered at this moment. I'd like to hand back to the host, Luis. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Seng, for the financial highlights of DPI Holdings. Maybe we can go ahead with some questions from the floor. I think it's quite in line with our flow. It's talking about the post-pandemic event. What is the plan of the group? Does the group having expansion in terms of factories, R&D to improve revenue or profit margin? Maybe Adam can take this question on what is the outlook of DPI Holdings. Yeah.
Thank you, Luis, and thank you for the questions. I think, okay, before I answer that question, maybe I just share a short video clip to tell you all during the year of the pandemic what we have been doing during this year and how is the development of the company has been.
Yep, that would be great.
Yeah, so that I can just... Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep, fantastic video.
Okay, so that's what we've been doing throughout the past year, and then it is a really very special year that you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, you're not supposed to congregate, you're not supposed to have marketing activities. So we found other things to do, actually, put it that way. So we have got marketing activity, social virtual marketing activities. We've got sessions with schools, and then we still continue with our billboards and all those things. And so we still got things going, put it that way. And we still try to keep all the investors, blogs, everybody informed of what we're trying to do. So other than that, what else did we do? Just share some of my slides again. Okay. So hang on. Okay, so you can see my slide. So some
Yes, I can
other
see.
recent development. Okay, yeah. So other development is we acquired a new company in Japan. It's a subsidiary called DPI Japan Company Limited, and basically we have a shareholder down there who is Masaki, Mr. Masaki-san, and we're very happy. Actually, this was done. Was done through virtual meetings. We do know him. We did got to know the person who we are in director service agreement with for a long time, and someone we're partnering to work down there to try to expand our regional footprint. So that is one of our strategies that we're trying to do going forward. We want to expand our regional footprint, and this one came out from a virtual meetings and setups, and that's kind of special because traditionally you will need to fly down there, meet a lot of different people. And a lot of all the meetings has become virtual, and we've actually gotten quite busy with all the virtual meetings, which is not a bad thing. So 30th of July, we've got the DPI Alliance to buy into this DPI Japan, and basically it's 90% DPI, and then 10% is Mr. Masaki-san. I just want to talk a bit about this person who we're working with. Is a Japanese national, and basically he has decades of experience in the Japanese aerosol field, and he's worked for Daiso ever since 1978, and this is a big Japanese aerosol conglomerate. And from Japan, he has gone to China to set up for Daiso as well. So he's got experience in Japan and also international experience. And these are the people who we are trying to work with going forward in terms of strategy. We look for experienced people who's willing to work with us to expand our regional footprint in those countries, because we believe, in a country like Japan, if you really want to develop down that, you need to work with a local person. And the local person will only work with you if they find that you're somebody trustworthy. I think so. At least I think that's one thing that's good for us. At least somebody with a wealth of experience finds that DPI is a trustworthy company, and we want to expand with his help going forward. Okay. So basically, the intent is to secure contract aerosol filling opportunities in Japan, and maybe look for more and more M&A projects in that country itself. We love Japanese products, to be honest. I think a lot of Malaysians love Japanese products, if I'm not wrong. So somehow you feel that it's something that is of good quality, right? Correct.
Yes,
and
yes.
to be honest, that resonates with whatever that we're doing. DPI, we feel that we are good, very good aerosol product. But I think for a Malaysian brand, you really want to go and expand regionally. I think it's good that we have more of exposure within Japan and Australia and all the other companies to bring up the international status of the branding. So this is what we're trying to do, trying to kickstart a whole range of aerosol products with the help of DPI Japan. But this will take some time, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
So
to come to fruition, when do you expect this to come to fruition?
I don't really have a timeline right now, but I think it will take a few years, I think. But in the meantime, the team is actually working with him quite well to work out in terms of the quality, and also in terms of the technical aspects of the company. What else do we need to improve on so that we can take on more projects from Japan? So those things are ongoing. So it's not so much of just looking for actual business deals. So it's also from an operational standpoint, right? Our company has got OEM projects with Japan for a long time, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. So with somebody who has had a wealth of being like a factory manager for a big aerosol company, it gives us a lot more alignment and direction of how we can develop stronger as an aerosol company. So it's not just about that part of things that's working. So this is something that we are is a strategic move as well from a company development point of view.
Yeah, I totally agree that when Malaysian likes Japanese products are quite easy, but for Japanese to like Malaysian products it's quite tough. So I guess you have
Yes.
met the benchmark as well standard that you have brought in the international status that they are also liking your products and therefore they are willing to invest in you. So I think kudos to you lah. Thanks.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, for growth strategies, yes. Let's move on to that. Maybe you can share with us growth strategies on short term and also long term.
Yeah. So a couple of things this COVID situation has brought us. The regional supply chain are disrupted. I've spoke of this before. I think going forward, the world is really changing quite a bit because a lot of the supply chains coming into Malaysia is disrupted, and a lot of the supply chains last time it used to be like a lot of the brand owners, international brand owners, rely on one supply source that maybe from China. That's it, and they expect they're going to order today, the next month they go to get it, but this situation has shown us that there's a lot of disruption in terms of the supply chain, and geopolitics also play a part. There's some amnesty between China and US, Australia and China. Somehow there's certain parts of the politics don't like each other, and that has trickled down from the business front as well. Then we're trying to think about in terms of other than buying everything from China, although they are cheaper. But what are other areas that we can get our sources from? And Malaysia has become a very sweet spot in that sense. It's not just for my business, but we are one of the few aerosol companies in the area that can do OEM packaging on such a scale. So it's become very interesting for a lot of the international brand owners. So with that disruption coming to place, we've become a lot of opportunities come to our doorstep. And from that, going forward, the other thing that we need to do is implement all the virtual Google Workspace, HRMS, and all the systems, in terms of managing the inventory, everything needs to go into automation and also needs to go into a very systemic way of working. So that will allow us to monitor from remote and also be able to keep our customers informed of our stock status and everything. So, and meetings, everything is virtual now. They don't expect to come to your factory next month or next week. As and when. It used to be very different. You can come as and when. I think as we are going on through this, we are getting more and more vaccine travel lanes and opening up with a lot of countries. But still, I don't think we'll go back to how it was fully. Like, this week I'm going to come here, then this week I'm going to be in Australia, next week I'm going to be in New Zealand, after that I'm going to be in US. It's not going to be going to that extent, and we're still at the risk of sudden lockdowns. So you do need to build up your systems, internal systems and networks, and keep connection to your other stakeholders, be it customers or suppliers, through virtual means. Challenges that's basically like those construction delays. Luckily, we've got through quite a bit of that, but that also made us shift a lot of our marketing initiatives, as well as I've shown you just now, into virtual means. So in terms of the strategic focus, right? So we do need to strengthen our brand. It's a very good brand that's been around for a long time. But I think what we want to do is to enhance that branding to target a younger audience and adapt to the changing consumer lifestyle preferences and maintain that attractive reliability and attractive price point. Okay, and then of course we will expand to a wider range of aerosol users. It's not just for just one purpose, single purpose. It can be for marking or different types of marking. We're going to the little niche. We're not going to like the mass low cost market. We're going to the niches where there's a better margins. And from that, because we already have a good brand name anchor, everybody recognizes that brand. So we cross-sell new products to existing networks. So that's what we do. It's like I always give this example. Tiger Balm used to be making like just Tiger Balm. Now they got insect repellents and different things as well. It's a bit similar to that concept. So you expand your product using the same distribution networks. Your customers are happy if you've got good product for them to sell. So that's one thing. In terms of the OEM prospects, because of the disruptions, what you need to do is really internally, you just have to go into the automations to improve your production capabilities, your QA capabilities, and that's one thing that you need to do. And when we search for our customers, we use a range of ways to active digital and offline marketing initiatives from Alibaba, or there are actually clever ways that you can use the the keywords to find the customers that you need and create your sales funnels in such a way that people can find you. So it's really very different from how we used to do marketing, where every week you have to go into one country and do one exhibition. It's not like that anymore, honestly. Or you can still do that, but there are other ways to complement what you used to do, and we are getting into a new realm where we do different types of marketing. And in terms of our team capabilities, as Louis, what you were asking me just now, yes, we have a good team. We have a good technical team, but we need to improve that further. And the way we improve it is really working with individuals like Masaki-san, and we do know quite a lot of them actually. And we want to work with more of these people to improve our team going forward. So marketing initiatives, we have all the Alibaba platforms, and then we got YouTube TV, our YouTube channel. We've got the corporate LinkedIn, where we look for different management level corporate people to connect with them in their countries, in UK or in France. And of course, we've got the channels marketing network. We still continue, those things will still continue. It's just that we don't do so much road shows. And of course, the social media e-commerce platforms, Shopee accounts, through the new different types of products. We launch all these products, and then it opens us to a wider audience. And we have our Facebook Live sessions where we engage on the users of what the things that are problems they need to solve in terms of their spray painting, whatever product they're using. So these are our three core strategies to basically increase our production capacity and penetrate new markets, new geographical footprints like DPI Japan, and improve our quality and developing new product reach. So this is basically the key of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, great prospect, great short-term and long-term strategy. I guess before we go into the next section of Q&A, I just want to ask about the progress in terms of your factory plans right now. Yeah.
Okay, our factory. That's one of the very important things. Maybe I'll just show a few photos. Maybe it's easier for me to. Hang on, I think I have to hang on.
So the audience, you can always put in the questions. Then later on, we will take the Q&A section after this expansion plans on the factories. Yeah.
You can see my screen, yeah? Okay,
yes.
A couple of things that we're trying to do. So we have actually an existing factory, and we have a small extension building. So we've got a small extension building right here that we can house small aerosol lines. So that is going underway. The building is up. So we are trying to expand our production capacity from 10 million cans to 20 million cans. That will be done partly through our new factory extension and also with our all brand new factory. So the extension is about 14,000 square feet, and can show you in terms of like the top-down view. I would love to invite everybody to more if I could, but I think this is the best that we can do right now. Virtual means see a top-down view. So this is my existing factory is down here. My factory extension is down here. So this is done. I've got a new paint factory down here, which I'll use to do paint and maybe other types of industrial chemical coating products. And this is the new factory that's building underway, and it's going really well after that last FMCO. We've got some pictures that I can share. So you can see some factory building right here. And this person is, I have no idea what he's doing, but actually he's at the top of the building. So
the new factory will come online, I think, in the next few years. The new factory.
A few years, no. I think it'll be done by the end of this financial year.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I think it'll be finished, but operational maybe like beginning of the next financial year. Yeah, okay. So great. Something along those lines. So yeah, so basically what we need to do is really improve our factory. Finish building the factory, have more production, automated production lines in, and really get everything moving at double the speed. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's a very, very good, prospects going forward. So I think right now we will go into the Q&A section. I think we are, being bombarded by a lot of questions. So maybe Kay, you can pull up, bring up Mr. Peter, and maybe he can also share his view and thoughts about the companies moving forward. So hi Peter, how are you doing?
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. So I think there are some questions. Maybe I can pose those questions to you as well. Since that we are talking about the growth and also long-term prospects, any plans to increase the export market since right now you are only having around 15 to 20%, right? Export market, is that right?
Sorry, very soft, so I cannot hear you clear.
Oh.
Can you repeat again?
Yeah, so I was talking about the export
Okay.
market. Since right now, since we have around 15-20% export market. Any plans to increase your export market to even higher percentage?
Yes, that's in our plan all the times.
Mm.
That's why actually we expand our business to overseas. That's why we want to be listed in the stock exchange for expansion program. As you know that actually Malaysian market is limited. Especially we are actually do something actually is not compared with the mass market in this industry. We are always in a niche market and also in the so-called specialty market. So expansion to the other country is our target, of course. So of course, when time to come, we will gradually increase our ratio compared with locals and overseas.
So what is a good mix, between export and also local market? What do you visualize your company to become? Right now, it's only 20% export market. Local is 80%. What is the mix that you like to have?
Okay, in the long run, we like to do 40-60 or 50-50.
Okay, that is great. That is a very good expansion. And also on the expansion plans, right? Are you going to do by acquisition style or by organic growth? What kind of mode are you taking down the road? Are you taking the acquisition line or are you taking the organic growth line?
That also a part of the reason why we want to be listed, because as a Asian local company concerned, always you get a doubt from international company or international market to doubt about your capability, and because most of the people who feel that Asian small company always don't have a very transparency of the system. So once you are listed, actually you need to comply all this. So actually the listed company will be fully transparent. So with that, actually the people who are in the other country, they are stronger than us, better than us, have a better technology with us. So after we listed, we can show it to them that actually 100% transparently. So then we'll be able for us to open the door and discuss. Of course, as a listed company concerned, M&A is one of our very so-called important so-called exercise and strategy. Yes, acquisition is all the time on, all the time discussed, all the time planning. We never stop that. Even before we are listed, when we are listed, we already plan for that. But unfortunately, we only listed about 1 over a year. We actually never been listed. So a lot of things for us to be compliant in a listed company. But unfortunately, when we are almost ready, the pandemic for the 1.5 year, almost one year, 3 quarters now, so we just can't move. But quite fortunately, due to sometimes certain area, because we know the people very well, 2 years, and then it's quite a straightforward sort of a setup, so easier for setup. Take example like Japan, because non-factory involved, non-production involved, temporary. But for other countries, when you want to do acquisition of the so-called manufacture plant, so if you're not there, you can't realize that their basic strength and their basic so-called quality control and their manpower skill and so forth and so forth. Cut short, yes. Acquisition is one of our very key achievement, because acquisition for the existing company, they cut short our so-called expansion program in certain country. If you just start a new operation in certain country, you take times to lay your foundation, to lay your networking. But if we can take a local company whereby they already have the products there, so then we make use of their brand make use of networking to go into the market more so-called efficiently. At the same time, the ready market there. Plus, at the same time, the local product will be our product sent back to Asia for the overseas market to be manufactured here. And of course, some of the product actually whereby we can't be economical to produce locally, we can always produce back from the bigger factory or the other factory whereby can support them the product. So the bulk mix will be give us a very so-called more faster expansion and more faster so-called result. Because as a listed company concerned, people don't like to wait for you 3 to 5 years to make money. So as a private company concerned like us, we always spend a lot of times to step in, to spend our time, to employ our people, to do everything. But now I think as a listed company concerned, most of the people don't like to see you spend 5 years to start to make some money in your expansion program. So I just add a little bit more what we are trying to do. Cut short, the answer yes, all the time. Not only all the time, we also, every time when we talk to people, we also ask people to give us some assistance, some networking, to introduce us any related upstream, downstream, to give us a chance to talk to people to do more acquisitions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. Yeah, I just want to elaborate on, want to ask about the Japan acquisition. I was thinking whether is there any knowledge transfer during this acquisition? Is there any knowledge transfer from the Japan side to DPI Holdings?
Yes, you see, you asked a very good question actually. Now, why you want to do acquisitions? Why you want to buy other countries' so-called products, brand name, or their networking? Because at the chemical industry concern, sometimes you can spend 10 years to make something happen. Okay? But if somebody tell you something that is just, I forget that. Why I didn't think of that. So, yes, acquisition actually not only give us to expand our revenue, business, networking, but also at the same time improve our total technology and also improve our total products in different countries. For instance, our product in Malaysia, we can sell it to other country. The other country we make acquisition, their product can bring back to our homeland. So yes, acquisition not only give us the revenue, business, but they give us the networking, give us a faster, easier so-called expansion business, plus the different products to add into our group. So that's why I think you asked a very good question. I think a lot of people don't feel that way. I'm happy that you asked that question. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess very very important is that when you acquire, like Mr. Peter has mentioned, always that it's not only about the revenue but also about the technology transfer, and it will make your company better into better quality products and things like that. So I guess that is also answering some of the questions on what is the future going forward. But everyone is very interested in your dividend yield. A lot of people ask about, can revenue increase fast enough so that the dividend yield can be a more respectable 5%? So I'm not too sure whether you all can answer this question for this audience.
Yeah, we can answer the general so-called thoughts about us. You see, DPI started from a very small company. DPI have been lost 8 years in this business before we come into the right track. That means we operate 8 years in this aerosol business before we can break even. So actually, why DPI after 40 years, we still can survive there? The only very important thing is that because the end user like our product, we have built our trust, our quality for the end user to trust us, to trust our products. So once the end user like your products, then you should be able to produce the products. But that's not end of it. Because different countries have different environmental, different way of life, different type of application techniques, and different type of usage. So DPI actually is a very niche so-called company. We not only make product for the general public to use, but we also make product, a niche product to suitable to the local condition. When I say local condition, means, take example, I sell something to Australia, whereby this product will never sell in Malaysia due to your culture, due to your way of life, due to your techniques, and due to your application system and your quality control, so forth, so forth. So what we do actually, we actually make product suitable to the local condition, local usage. So that become products suitable to the end user. So then you can see that when we do that in other country, there is no end of it. That experience, that type of product, we will try to bring to other country, whereby can we build out, can we explore, can we make the same product to educated or to be bring the product to be a better usage or improve the efficiency, improve the quality, improve the safety, and improve the environment. So that's what we actually one way or the other do that. Now, when we do that, okay, because we do a niche product, because we do in a product to some country whereby the currency, their wages is much higher than Malaysia, take example. For instance, take example, I sell some product in Australia. Now, Malaysia, if I say, and I sell another 30 cents in Malaysia, it's 30 cents. But that 30 cents in Australia is 10 cents. But 30 cents in Malaysia can mean something. But 10 cents in Australia can mean nothing. Why? Because their labor cost 1 hour is $25. So what they want quality product. They want to go to the place where they can pick out. They want to wasting their time. Because not like Malaysia. I want to buy something, I go to seafood shop because I got the time. My labor cost cheap. You know, I drive there, park my car, I spend my half hour, the other spend half an hour. I maybe spend 2 hours to buy one thing. I save $1, $1. But in Australia, if you spend 2 hours to buy a product, you wasted $50. That is $150 Malaysian. Okay. Then from there, we do the niche market, we do the product. So our margin is better. When our margin better, so our volume might not necessarily be very high, but our margin ratio is high. Now, anybody invest in any company, what are you looking for? You're looking for the revenue or looking for their return, investment return? So when you look into investment return concern, then when we're doing the high value added product concern, we are niche market concern, and then we are continue to do that. Then when we can do that, then the company can make better money. Now, when company can make better money, so we have a very so-called healthy company here, because we don't have borrowing, we have a lot of cash there. So that means when we have cash there, we will be share to our shareholders. No doubt we don't have a dividend policy, but we know, everybody know that when I want to invest, I make sure that I have dividend, I have my share to be, prices to be increased. When years to come, I can make money. Take example, when you invest in DPI share, don't talk about the downtime, we're talking about our IPO price 25 cents. If you don't sell anything, today you make 200% plus 8-time dividends. So now, the question to answer to the people that whether we'll continue to make money to give more dividend. Yes, in principle, yes. But of course, shareholder must also understand. Now, when we explain more, we need more cash. Maybe we'll be sorry to say that we need the cash to make more money for you. You know? So we might not able to give you very high dividend, but when we have a lot of money, we have a lot of cash, we will give a better dividend. That's why until today we don't have a dividend policy, but we can prove it to you, already show it to you that for the last 2.5 years, we already given 8-time dividends.
Correct.
So
Yes.
I hope that this answer may be satisfied to your investor. I can't promise that
sure.
we must give you how much so-called dividend, but our past record already proven to you that whether we give you dividend or not. I think the actual dividend given is better than what I tell you whether I will give you dividend or not. How much I want to give it to you. You can see that first year we will do 1 time. Second year we do 2 times. Third year when we are very good, we give 5 times.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank
very
you,
much.
Peter. Yeah, maybe Yap-Seng can talk about the financial
Yeah.
highlights part. Yeah.
Okay, dear shareholder, we're fully aware about first Peter already explained very well that a very good business leading to generating a very good operating cash flow. Therefore, financing cash flow wise, on the outflow, the company able to pay you a dividend. Your question is focused beside dividend payout. You also focus on dividend yield. Dividend yield, this question is very subjective in terms of textbook theory. For an investor who on an early day, they bought the share at 10 cents, they bought the share at 15 or even 25 cents. When the dividend payout to them, say about 0.5 cent or 1 cent or 2 cent, for them, they are very dividend yield. Whereas for the late investor, when you start buying the share at about 40 cents, probably the dividend yield may not be that attractive to you anymore. But through the process from the MCO 1.0, March 2020 until today, we're talking of almost like 6 quarters, most of the investors who invest in the DPI share would have made a reasonable and profitable capital gain in this process. Uh, just for the sake of pull down the share price in order to have high dividend yield is unreasonable and undoable. That's one. And the second thing is, please take note that the number of shares in circulation is about 730 million shares. In the event if the company need to pay a 2 cent dividend per share, the quantum of the dividend need to pay is about 14 million. It's much higher than the profit generated by the company. Probably it may not be appropriate for the company is going for the inorganic growth and organic growth at the same time. I hope that will be answer your question comprehensively that don't stick on one parameter for what you learn for the textbook. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Yap-Seng. I think DPI Holdings has been doing very, very well. They have been paying for 4 cent, also 1 cent last year, and that has certainly give the commitment to the shareholders. So I guess let the company grow, and then the company will definitely reward the shareholders. Okay, I will take the last question, and we will do the closing remark later on. I think maybe this question I'll pose it to Adam. Nowadays, there is a focus on ESG related to achieve sustainable growth. Can we know how far has DPI adapted to these standards in its operations?
Yeah, these days everything is talking about sustainability and governance. I think during our board meetings, we place a lot of emphasis on discussion on this area. From operational standpoint, we are mindful of the resources that we consume, and we try to minimize in terms of the electricity and water and everything. As we improve and increase our capacity, I think we want to either maintain or reduce the amount of electricity per can produced and all those things. So we're trying to work out the metrics that we're going to use to measure our production and what we do. And in terms of like the products, in terms of product development, we are also looking into different types of gases and propellants that we can introduce in our products that's more environmentally friendly. There's also some developments in the international arena that they try to do, like shift away from 134A, which is the refrigerant type of propellant, to a more environmentally friendly 1234ZE. So we are also looking into all those products and also non-flammable type of products that's more environmentally and also from social viewpoint, right, that the users will like. But we do need to strike a price point and in terms of the demand of making something that people like and also being environmentally responsible, put it that way. So that is from the product and operational point of view. In terms of governance-wise, we are building this company to be sustainable, and also in terms of risk, in terms of how we maintain our fire safety and everything, all those protocols, any accident incidents, we're trying to go into a more structured way of measuring. I think that's the main point down here, is how you're going to measure the way that we are doing right now in terms of the governance part, right? We're doing something that's socially responsible. So we're moving in that arena, but I think we'll work out the metrics towards all those things first. And when we have that, I think we'll be in our next report.
Okay,
Yeah, can I
great
add
on
some
the
actually
ESG
as
part.
well as
Yeah.
product concern? Actually, we are now try to throw out on the green products.
Right, the green products, environmentally
Green
safe
product,
products.
yes. Actually, as one Adam just now mentioned, we not only try to make products safer, but we also try to looking into green product for the future aspect. So that's why actually I think when our new factory expansion program completed, I think second half year or next year or maybe 2023 early, you will hear a lot of things about us on the green products.
Okay,
So
great.
as far as ESG concern, actually, of course, ESG has been mentioned in the world about 10 years ago, but I think about 3 years ago they have become quite a so-called a popular so-called topic about in Asia, especially in Malaysia. Based on Malaysia, a banking institution or banking association concern, I think if you look in Maybank, they're talking about 2030. Most of the company, if you want to get a loan, you make sure you comply to ESG. But frankly, sorry to say that, how many companies in Malaysia today, I talk about a small, medium-sized company. Big company, of course, they can afford to do it. Big company can afford to do the research. But small, medium-sized company, I think they still take a long way to go. But of course, we as a listed company concerned, because, take example, our product, when we first started until today, we are already environmental friendly. We are ozone-friendly products. Actually, that's why in the early 2000, we're getting the environmental award by the DOE as a environmental safety product. Of course, we never forget that actually our product actually at this stage, some of them actually is flammable. For example, because we're using the current propellant, some of the product actually maybe have a very light toxic, but so we try to control up to a certain extent about the toxicity. But for the other product in the future, so our development, so green product is one of our very, very important so-called topic, because I can see that because we are not only saying local friendly, actually for instance now in Europe, in Japan especially, so green product is very, very important. But of course, in Malaysia or in Asia concerned, some of the green product due to the cost is too high. Take example, just give you an idea. Some of the propellant we use is about $4 per kilo today. But if I want to change to a green product, it costs me 50 ringgit per kilo. That means our cost will roughly increase 10 times, tenfold of certain product. So then in this case, we are not, it's not we are not ready, it's the market not ready. So because maybe the market also at this stage not necessarily to up to that extent, so I mean that's still a question mark. But of course, as far as Malaysia's concerned, 2030, everybody must try to be comply ESG.
Okay, great. Thank you, Peter, for the elaboration of the ESG part. So I think maybe let's do some closing remarks. So with just last question, I think there is also a question on what is the outlook on the next quarter profit, and will any pent-up demand during the previous lockdown FMCO, can that bring over to the next quarter? And because I think a lot of investors want to understand if there is any assurance from the company, that will be the best. So maybe Adam can take this question, or Peter can take this question.
I think let Peter take this question.
I think I'd like to answer this question.
Yes, very exciting.
Let's come back to the products, so-called liability, products popularity, product trustee. Now, take example, Coca-Cola, if one day, suddenly they don't have supply because due to the factory cross out. So Coca-Cola factory, actually, they might make $10 million for the last quarter. But this quarter, because due to shutdown. So they have 2/3 of the time is not production. So the sale drop. Now, the sale drop because overhead still continue. Committing costs still continue. The fixed costs still continue. So of course, they make very little money. Now, you just imagine when Coca-Cola factory reopened. So you think that they got business? So my answer to the questioner is that DPI product in Malaysia already 40 years. We have been losing 8 years for our first 8 years because we try to build up our brand name, we try to build our distribution network, we try to build up our awareness in the market, we try to build up the trust and the usage from the customer. So today, this product become a trusted product. Just like in the share market, are you trust this company? Now, when you can trust this company, you know the company what they're doing, you know the company are not the so-called fly by night. You know the company for the last 5 years, at least you can check, or you can check last 15 years or 20 years from the SSM about their turnover, about their business. So they should have a confidence there. When you have the confidence there, sometimes the business down is not because we don't have business. It's not because the market don't have a product. It's just because the environment does not allow you to do anything at all. So that means you don't have production, you don't have sales. But when your product is trusted by the customer concern, now when they reopen, are you going to buy? Just like Milo, take example. Okay, Milo suddenly they close down, no supply. So, but when they open, you think people will buy a bit of Milo? Yes. That's why I can't discuss to you that at this moment because it's a listed company. But anyway, in December, sometime in December, we will announce our second quarter's result. So I believe that we will not fail our investor.
Okay, that is a very good assurance I can get from DPI Holdings. So I guess that will sum up today's event. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter and also Mr. Adam and also Yap Seng to join us in this corporate briefing. Really, we have a very wonderful night, and also I hope that you all have a greater heights, greater success in the future. And thank you so much for the audience to join in as well. I would, on behalf of them, I really thank your time, because normally during this hour, normally you are, already getting to bed or anything, getting rest after the 8 hours of, working at your office or factory. So once again, thank you so much for DPI Holdings joining us today. Thank you. So we'll have you maybe some other time. Yeah. Yes. No problem. Yes.
First of all, thank you very much for giving us a chance to talk to you people. And then we're sorry that due to time consumed, so we can't answer all the questions, or the investor have not come in their mind to ask the right question they want. But we are open to everybody. So any question they want to ask, any question they think of, or tonight, midnight, they think, oh, they can knock down, tomorrow they can write to us, or they can call us, or they can call IR. We make sure that we answer every question to every investor doubt. Even they ask stupid question, never mind, but once actually the COVID is over, one of our new factory is ready, maybe in Malacca, go to Muar is very near, only 45 minutes,
Yes.
So, I mean, if some people interested, they can organize a trip, just tell us, we're welcome for you to come in to see us, to see what we are doing, how we are doing. Don't listen to us, see your own eyes, So then look at what we have, So then from there to build out, come back to the same thing. We want to build as trusted company, not only trusted product, but trusted company. And that only can be prolonged. Good time, bad time, up and down, So the more important thing, we need shareholder to support us, to give us more support for us to perform and to make us, we produce our duty also. We also, as a shareholder, we will work hard for the company to proven to these people. So maybe another 3-5 years, we talk again. Let's see whether today what we are talking, are we can deliver it or not. So hopefully some of the shareholder will keep us for 3-5 years, and after they said, yes, why we don't invest? Why you don't invest? You see, I invest 3-5 years later, who I am now, Just like some of the shareholder, even some of our staff, take example, because the share come out 25 cents. After due to the COVID concern, the share dropped to 10 cents, 11, 12 cents. But the 12 cents, 30 cents per share, our cash even more than the 12, 30 cents. So after that, bow back. So if the people keep it, if they don't keep it, today they regret. But they keep it, today they're happy. So anyway, so I think please look into our financial report, analyze it, make sure that you understand who we are. Are we borrowing or not? Are we simply spend money or not? Are we our overhead increase or not? Our cost increase or not? You know. So and our business increase or not? You know. Are we genuine or not? I think quite straightforward for the people who understand account when you look at the account. Okay.
Yes,
So
yeah, once again,
thank you
for your
support and
wonderful
thank you for your
closing
time
remarks.
to lead
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, see you again another time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.